Hi, everybody. I wanted to welcome you to our webinar today here at CashBet. I'm Ed Brennan. I'm here with Tim Cogswell and Tarun Gaur, our head of product and head of engineering. We're going to share some information today and hopefully answer some questions for you. Before we get started, I want to share with you our disclaimer and let you view that. And I'll give you about 30 seconds to read it. Push that button and go to PowerPoint, full screen. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's get started. A little about myself. I'm a Silicon Valley veteran. I've worked at a bunch of different companies. If you want to see all the details about my background, you can look at my LinkedIn profile. It's publicly available. You can see the various companies that I've worked at. I've done quite a few turnaround situations. I do advisory work for several different startups, so I'm very familiar with small companies and scaling them into much larger companies. And I'm very comfortable dealing with some of the ambiguities that you run into when you're going pretty fast as a tech company. The approach we're taking moving forward is we're going to get an annual operating plan approved by our board of directors, and we're going to work really hard on the various aspects of our business. So a little bit about the priorities that I have. In the corporate development side, as I said, we're getting an annual operating plan approved by our board. The reason that's really important is because in the past, we've had kind of an odd mix of deals come through, and we really want to hone in on what we want to be as we grow as a company. So it's very important that we have a little bit more of a disciplined approach as we develop new partnerships. Our partnership strategy is a pretty simple one. We're going to work with the best in breed in industry. So when we look at various partners that could potentially come on our platform, we really want to get the best performers. And we have a pretty good idea who they are, and we'll be doing outreach to those partners in the future. In terms of token utility, it really dovetails with our partnership strategy. And bringing new partners onto our platform, it gives us the ability to tokenize their games immediately. And that's a real advantage that a lot of our competitors simply don't have. And it gives us a chance to not only make our tokens genuinely useful, but it also helps us with adoption, and it helps broaden the base of people using the token. That's something we just haven't had time to do to date, but it is now a very high priority. And we are going to make our token very broadly available over time through partnerships. In terms of customer acquisition, it's very customary to bring traffic to a website when it's new and to acquire users using various advertisements on the web. But over time, we really want our platform to be genuinely useful and a place that people want to come back to. We really feel like it's the return customers that are going to make our platform successful in the long run. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Tarun Gaur, who is our head of engineering. He can talk about our comprehensive platform.
Cool. Thank you, Ed. Hi, everyone, and a shout out to our token holders. This is Tarun. So let me very quickly give you a brief introduction about myself. I started my career with Hewlett-Packard, and I've worked with companies like Deloitte and Microsoft. And I've run a successful startup as a co-founder and a technology visionary. And I support numerous startups as an advisor as well, and I lead the engineering team here. So without further ado, let me very quickly talk to you a little bit about the platform and all the awesome engineering work we are doing around the platform to make sure that that the utility of the token is enhanced and you have a long-term value for your tokens. So I'm sure you've heard about the platform that we are a comprehensive white hat crypto-enabled iGaming platform that supports both real money and crypto alike. But I wanted to little bit talk about the differentiators and why our platform, in the longer run, your tokens will have a lot of value around the platform. So 5 key differentiators come to my mind. The first one is that we are one of the most comprehensive crypto-enabled iGaming platform that supports both real money and crypto alike, and this is a rarity. If you look at the competitors out there, either they are in real money or they are in crypto only. And if you look at the growth of the industry, it's growing at a CAGR of around 12% per annum, and it is slated to grow up to around $128 billion by 2026. And the online industry is specifically around both the real money as well as crypto. Crypto is still a very fledgling market. So what we are doing is, while we are working on a comprehensive platform, we are using crypto as an enabler and as a key differentiator to bring new age gaming to the platform. Second, we are supported by differentiated content, and the CBC token gives us an immense ability to attract and retain more players around VIP schemes, build our own jackpots, progressive jackpots, and then crypto wagering. Now, this brings our token into circulation, and it also enhances the platform and the utility of the token. The more the token is in circulation, the more operators use our platform, and the more content we enable via crypto, you will see the token getting into circulation on its own. The third one is that it is primed for regulated markets, and we are working very closely with the regulatory bodies to ensure compliance. Now, again, this is in regulated markets, the entry barrier is generally high, but once you enter the markets and you have a differentiated offering, in the long-term value of the token takes care of itself around in the regulated markets, and we are one of the few providers that have a comprehensive platform that can do that. The fourth one is casino in a box. We are working heavily on making sure that we can reduce time to market for operators. If operators want to white label new online casinos and bring them to the market, we are working on a technology called as Casino in a Box, where we can provision new online casinos for them very quickly, and they can bring them to the market. More online casinos and more online differentiated segmented offerings means more adoption for the token and the coin. And the fifth one is that we are looking at every single use case that can enhance the utility of CBC as a token. So our entire platform and value-added services around the platform use CBC as a staking mechanism. What that means is that going forward in future, we will give our operators an option of using CBC as a licensing fee. The way Ethereum network uses Ether as the gas price, we'll use CBC as a staking mechanism to run our platforms across the board, across the operators, across online casinos that we support. Now that ensures, again, that is aimed at ensuring circulation of the coin, and the more automatically the servers continue to consume the coins, the more demand it generates for the coins in the longer run. And that's what we are working towards. Now, in line with that, we have a portfolio of crypto solutions that we are enabling around the platform, and we are very excited and happy to report that we are in the final. We have just passed third-party compliance and testing for our remote gaming server technology, and we are in the final stages of getting compliance from Alderney. So we are progressing as per the roadmap, and we had promised our token holders that we'll be launching around the end of September. We are right up there, and as we speak, a major platform update is being deployed right now. It's called MGT 2.0, and it has numerous updates, including awesome content that we are bringing from additional providers like Pragmatic Play and GreenTube. And this was again on the roadmap. As we had promised, we are progressing as per the roadmap. Now, the next amazing technology that is slated to be launched in October, mid-October to the third week of October is Crypto Cashier. Now, Crypto Cashier is please notice, Crypto Cashier is a multi-cryptocurrency payment gateway that can be integrated by operators easily using REST-based APIs. What that means is we are building a technology where CBC enablement can happen within days, not weeks. So if you have an online casino, you are an operator and you want to use CBC as a wagering mechanism, as a cryptocurrency, today you can do that with CBC. And in future, you may be able to even utilize other currencies as well. Again, Crypto Cashier, like our platform, also uses CBC as a staking mechanism. So as a gas price, CBC is always being used as the adoption increases. So we are again on track to release this technology by the end of October. We will be code complete by mid of October, and if everything goes to plan, we will launch by end of October successfully in the market, again as per the roadmap. The next technology that we are working on, and this is super exciting technology, we are pretty psyched about it, is called ChainView. ChainView it's probably a first of its kind, where we can look at data feeds from the blockchain, and we can fire significant alerts around responsible gaming, anti-money laundering, and what have you. So not only the operators and regulators can observe what's going on the chain with respect to a certain kind of token, which in this case is CBC, they can also get alerts to see if they see an unusual behavior on the chain. This technology is in the works. We are working hard to bring this out, and you'll see this technology go live in Q1 of 2019. Then finally, we are working on the most advanced Ethereum technology, which is called state channels, and we are working very closely with those who are aware of what's happening around Ethereum. I'm sure you are aware that state channels are a very promising technology that helps us speed up our transactions, and especially when it comes to wagering and online gaming and betting, the speed of transactions is of paramount importance. We are working very closely with the founding member of Plasma team to bring this technology to you. We are again, the plan is to bring this technology out by Q2 of 2019, early Q2 of 2019. We are progressing as per plan here as well. And again, here our external dependency is Plasma and how Ethereum is bringing state channels to the table. Unlike some of our other competitors, we don't want to jump the gun, and we want to make sure that the transactions are safe and they're secure and can be accounted for. And we are working hand in hand with the Plasma team to ensure that. Now, finally, as I mentioned, that across our technology, across our platform, as well as our value-added services ecosystem that we are constantly working on, we want to make sure that CBC as a token is in circulation, and we ensure that we help make the demand rise for the token. And for that, every single technology, B2B technology from a CashBet will ensure that CBC is being used as a staking mechanism. So we are pretty excited and psyched about it. with this technology insight, I'll hand over the baton to my colleague and friend, Tim Cogswell, who leads our product team here. So over to Tim.
Thank you, Tarun. My name is Tim Cogswell. I've been in the gaming industry for probably about 15 years now, working mainly on the digital side of games with a bunch of different B2B, B2C, social, and real money gaming. So I bring an extensive background to this element and to this company. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the crypto cashier. I want to echo something that Tarun said earlier around the regulated compliance side of it. Everything we're doing is focused on that. And the reason why we keep bringing this up and why it's important is as we're getting licensing and being one of the first and pioneers to do this, it not only brings value and trust more to the players and the players that are going to be using our products, depositing with us and withdrawing as well as playing with the CBC token, but more importantly, the broader market. A lot of these companies, the either game suppliers or platform providers, operators, they're all regulated and licensed as well. And these are some of the multi-billion-dollar companies in the industry. So it's critical. They can't just take arbitrary products that aren't fully licensed and regulated. So it really opens up a vast market to us around the world, which is critical. And so if you look at a lot of other competitors and a lot of other casinos, a lot of them are either unlicensed or in unregulated markets. And even if they offer content similar to this, they would have difficult time penetrating the existing large players in the market and getting their products into the market. So let's talk a little bit of the cashier. This is one component that Tarun mentioned. So this is a fully API-based that integrates not only to the blockchain, but into existing gaming wallets. So the best way to kind of describe this is if an operator today and our platform already has a fiat-based wallet system, what we're looking to do is kind of create something in conjunction with that to allow for CBC and potentially other crypto-enabled currencies down the road. But specifically, we're focused on CBC to start. And we want to create this seamless player experience for operators and players to use. So this involves on one side with the operator to work with them around responsible gaming limits, promotions, and bonusing, and being able to offer a lot of the same features you would have on fiat today. But on the blockchain side, we manage all the blockchain elements around looking at the blockchain, confirming the transaction, moving the money from the blockchain into this crypto-enabled wallet for iGaming. So this is, in a nutshell, one view of the first kind of user journey, user experience. Specifically, this is our B2C product, Jenny Vegas, but it would integrate existing flow in terms of deposit. So they would pick a deposit amount, they would get a bonus potentially, and then from there, they would confirm the transaction. Now we have two different options here. First, let's say they have a third-party wallet, similar to like a MetaMask type of product. They have one today. They have a mobile solution as well. From here, they'll be able to make a payment and deposit through whatever the third-party wallet is today. The other option is we've tightly coupled with MetaMask as well, which is one of the leaders' third-party wallet systems, to integrate their product into ours. So it makes it a more seamless player experience in terms of getting money into the system, and for that matter, getting money out of the system. But ideally, we want to just bring money into the system and allow the players to play. And so as we go forward, we're evaluating and looking at it. At initial launch, we just want to focus on MetaMask and support other third parties. Down the road, we're exploring ways to expand not only beyond MetaMask, other really well-known wallet solutions we want to integrate as well. And the goal here is to have more payment options and more accessibility to money in real time. I think the biggest thing that we're really looking at here is trying to make it, because there's a delay sometimes based off the gas prices, we're trying to make this as quick, as seamless as possible for the player, and they know where they're at while they're actually making deposit. As well as we're exploring down the road of potentially even creating our own fully wallet solution beyond and extending the cashier itself. And lastly, once they actually go through the flow and they actually receive the deposit, they'll have a deposit request. Obviously, the blockchain will take some time we'll have to validate it. We'll go through that process, and we're trying to notify players when it's actually happening, of what's actually happening, how long it will take, what they can expect. So they'll see all of the messaging as well as transaction history to the player. Again, this product is built to support not only the real money side, but we've also built in a way to support the social casino side. And so that's a free-to-play games. So we're integrating with a few different suppliers there as well. Our initial launch, as I mentioned, is on Jenny Vegas, our B2C site, to just make sure everything's smooth, do some additional testing with the players, get some feedback from players that are using the product, and then make enhancements and tweaks along the way. But we have a pipeline of several different other customers that will be integrating over the coming months and quarters. And our scheduled launch of the cashier is around Q4 2018. And with what Tarun was saying earlier, as well as the cashier, we'll be making some updates to the roadmap based off the feedback and as we're working through the regulations and everything, we need to make some tweaks to the product roadmap itself, and we should expect a roadmap to be updated roadmap to be delivered to everyone on the call as well as to the community by the end of the week. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to answer some of the questions we received, and by all means, if you've got more, please add them to the list. We're going to go ahead and work our way through them. So one of the questions is in regards to the value of the cryptocurrency and what are we doing specifically to enhance the value of the CBC coin. So the answer to that, I think we already covered to some degree. We're going to genuinely get the value of the token to increase by making it useful in a variety of different environments. And we're going to increase the distribution of the token itself dramatically, not only on our own website, but through partnerships. So we're going to essentially have partners using our token on their websites as well. And so that's a really exciting opportunity to not only increase the supply in the online world, but to also make it a very useful thing within the gaming environment. Another question that we got, let's see here. Is our money safe with CashBet? That's a great question, and I think I'll let our VP of Engineering, Tarun, answer that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ed. So I think ultimately it comes down to three things. It's related to the value of the token that we are trying to create. So I think the answer comes from three different dimensions. The first one is partnerships. We are working with a number of potential partners to ensure that CBC can be used as a token of value, as an instrument of transfer of value on their sites as well. So that's number one. Number two is around B2B scenarios. All our servers and value-added services will use CBC as a staking mechanism, and that is aimed at increasing the circulation of the tokens per se. And the third one is around B2C scenarios, differentiated content, and ensuring that you can have more crypto-enabled games to play. So we have B2C scenarios, B2B scenarios, and partnerships taking shape. And we are progressing as per the roadmap. And I think collectively, all the progress that you're seeing and the hard work that we are putting in around crypto offerings as well as upcoming state channels, that kind of answers the question itself. Ultimately, when we kind of raise money via an ICO or any technology company or any startup raises money via ICO, the impact comes from the long-term utility of the token. And as a team, we are invested in the company, in the technology, and in the token, and we will ensure that long-term value of the token is enhanced. And that's our goal. Day in and day out, we think about use cases and utilities to enhance the value of the token. And that's what we are working towards in technology as well as in the product and marketing teams as well. Hopefully that answers the question.
Great, thanks, Trent. Let's see if we've got some other questions here. He's left the company. Yeah, I actually can address that. The question is, why did Mike leave the company? So I've known, just to give you some background, I've known Mike Reeves for over 10 years. We were personal friends long before he launched the company. I've been an advisor at CashBet for the last 4 years. The transitioning of Mike was, I think, a decision on the board's part, and with Mike being part of the board, that there was really a need to kind of take the next step as a company. And so I've seen this happen at a lot of different companies I've worked at. It takes a certain team to get a company to a certain point, but as that company starts to get larger, sometimes it takes a different mindset and a different skill set to get a company to really scale. And so that's really what was motivating behind it. Mike is very supportive of me, and he will continue to help us in a variety of ways. And so I'm looking forward to working with him, the board, and the excellent management team he assembled here. And I think we're going to accomplish a lot in the coming months and years. Let's see, what other questions do we have here? What is your background, general history with CashBet in particular? So I don't have a huge background in gaming other than I've founded my own gaming company and also being an advisor at CashBet. And so I'm kind of familiar with this environment. I know most of the players in it. So that part is very familiar to me. My background in general, I think I covered earlier in the webinar, but if there are specific questions, I'm happy to answer. Who else from the management team left with Mike? The answer is no one. Mike was the only departure, and like I said, he's still going to be an advisor to the company. He's currently a board member, and he's going to be very helpful going forward as we scale and we put infrastructure in place to really grow the company. Its next phase of growth, if that makes sense. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, I don't see any other questions. Does anybody else online want to ask any questions while we're here? Oh, good. There we go. Will you support the price of the CBC in the market? I think the answer to that is what Tarun and I have already covered. In supporting the price in the marketplace, we have to create genuine demand and we have to create genuine utility. If we do those two things, that token price will go up over time. And so I'm very familiar with the crypto markets, and I've been monitoring them for some time. And so I know there's been a big dip that everyone's concerned about, but I think everyone would acknowledge that the cryptocurrency market is a very volatile place, and it can just as easily go up as it has recently gone down. And so I think that's the nature of it. But we do intend to support CBC in the market by creating genuine demand for the tokens, if that makes sense. Let's see if there's some more down here. Good question. So Tarun, do you want to talk about this one? This one right here.
Absolutely. I think it's a great question. Why would the consumer use CashBet Coin as opposed to other cryptocurrency? And this is where the key differentiator, one of the 5 key differentiators that I talked about, that we are not just a crypto platform, we are a crypto plus real money comprehensive iGaming platform in the regulated markets. That practically means that every single platform that is brought to the regulated markets requires certifications by the regulatory bodies, requires participation by various bodies. So the process, the entry barrier for a platform to be crypto enabled in these regulated markets, and that's exactly where the major opportunity in the online gaming is. That entry barrier is pretty high and it takes time and energy. For example, our technology is the easy part. I mean, we can build blockchains day in and day out. The key is to work with the regulatory bodies to ensure that compliance is there. Most of other crypto plays that you're looking at in the online gaming industry, they do not have that. They are practically playing in the gray markets or black markets per se. And that practically means that there is no guarantee of that cryptocurrency or the transfer of value, and you don't know who you are sending your tokens to. I mean, in this case, we are a credible platform provider. We've been in business since 2012. We play in the regulated markets, and beyond that, this is the default. Our goal is to make this as the default and de facto cryptocurrencies for everybody who wants to play in the regulated, provably fair play, white hat market. So that's the key differentiator, and hopefully I answered the question. Sure, Tim would like to add a few things to it.
So specifically, and why would they consume CashBet Coin as opposed to other cryptocurrencies? I think the main thing, beside the fact that we're adding a lot of functionality to be able to support it, we're building game content that not only has crypto jackpots and things along those lines, but I think in addition, working with our partners to do offer promotions and bonusing that are more lucrative for CashBet Coin via other cryptocurrencies. So instead of using Bitcoin or Ethereum, I think that's the question you're asking. We're doing a lot of things around it, working with our partners to basically try to create more value around CashBet Coin as a whole, as opposed to using Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Thanks, Tim. Let's see what else we've got here. Okay. Hi, CPC team. Please consider my following questions with regard to the business goals and objectives. How do you evaluate the performance of these products, services, metrics like traffic, conversion, average spend, visitor, customer, revenue? Yeah, the answer to that, Nico, is all the above. We look at a plethora of metrics in regards to the games on our platform to monitor the health of the games and to make sure they're performing as expected, so that we're getting, the users having a good experience first and foremost, and we're running a profitable game as a company, if that makes sense. We literally have pages and pages of metrics that we look through to make sure that the games we're monitoring are performing correctly. And we also use that as a baseline for projecting our business. It's very important for us to get an annual operating plan with those metrics in there as we grow forward, so we know what to expect and we don't provide a bunch of surprises to our board of directors. So we're going to be very prescriptive about how we grow, and we know the metrics to watch to make sure we're growing in a healthy manner, if that makes sense. To answer your second question, when will you share first high-level results past with ICO investors? Well, I think we're communicating today, and we'll continue communicating in the future as we make progress against our milestones. I think Tarun did a great job of explaining all the exciting things that the engineering team has been working on and that the marketing guys have been asking for. So when we start to deliver those to the marketplace, we'll share that information with you in future webinars, if that's helpful. How do you go forward in terms of e-meetings, webinars process? I think we're going to do regular webinars as needed moving forward, because we have so many exciting things coming out. I just think it's important that the people in the marketplace who are considering buying the token or have already bought the token, that they have as much information as possible so that they can make an informed decision. So that's really on us to share that information so that you guys you can make your decisions on what to invest in and when, if that makes sense. Okay, let's see here. Donna, what are the plans for the next 3 months, Q4? So Q4, it's a great question from Donna. What are the plans for the next 3 months? So we're working on our annual operating plan, and there's kind of 3 areas of focus I think we talked a little bit about earlier. One is bolstering the B2C offering that we have right now, so sort of our storefront where people come and use our games. The second is our B2B platform and bringing new partnerships on, and as Tarun pointed out, we've got an exciting partnership deal with GreenTube that's coming on. And then in general is meeting with our partners and getting our crypto on their platforms. There are a lot of high quality websites out there that are growing at a really nice pace. They're generating a lot of revenue in fiat currency, but they don't have crypto, and so we do. So we have something unique and pretty rare in the world of gaming, and so we're going to be working with our partners to put our token with their branding on their environment, if that makes sense. Okay, see if we have any other questions or see if we missed anybody here. Okay, I think we've got everybody's questions answered. Great. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining the webinar today. And if you guys do have follow-up questions, you can either reach out via social media. I do respond on my LinkedIn account, or you can contact me directly at the company via my email at ebrennan@cashbet.com. Thanks for your time today, and we look forward to speaking with you guys in the future. Thank you.